Virginia, you got to stop. I let you have one. I ain't say nothing about it.
What was your favorite Colorado football memory in the last 2 decades before Deion Sanders came?
Anybody planning on using us, get on national TV and jump in the portal?
Deion Sanders told you what was going to happen, and no surprise, it did happen. Isiah Augustin entering the transfer portal just last week, if I'm not mistaken. The leading rusher for Colorado happens to find himself in Virginia, and that wouldn't have been a coincidence if he didn't just call Virginia out and the NCAA. Jordan Seaton's calling out Cash Cleveland. There's a lot to, kind of catch up with, and Buffalo's already adding more to that defensive back room. So first things we're going to start with Isiah. He's officially with Virginia. We're going to hear those videos of Deion alluding to him getting paid, getting tampered with, and of course ending up at Virginia. Talk about the new Colorado Buffalo. Then we have some more visits for Colorado, so even more potential Buffaloes coming in. And then we're going to end it with Jordan Seaton addressing his comments apparently at Cash Cleveland. Let's hear it though right here. I'll probably have the beginning of the video, but y'all already know what it is.
Virginia, you got to stop. I let you have one. I ain't say nothing about it.
Hold him up.
Come on now. Come on.
So, he said, Virginia, I let you have one. I didn't say nothing about it, right? And before that, there was a part where, like, Bucky had to look down and he cut the camera and it was all this otherness. But here it is, it just straight up, just going right at the NCAA saying, yo, people is tampering.
We got some tremendous guys identified that's in the portal that we felt like we're going to be in the portal. We don't jump the gun on that stuff because the last thing I want to hear is my name associated with tampering or anything like they do our kids. We got contracts. I mean, we got some schools so stupid they give kids contracts, but they're still here. I don't understand that whatsoever. Like, NCAA, y'all got to do something, man. Don't just sit there on your hands and open them up and so everybody could grease you during palms and make a ton of money off everybody and don't have nothing to say about nothing. I don't understand that part. But portals is going to be good to us. I think we have several players coming this weekend, which I'm excited to see along with what we already have in-house.
I mean, there you go. I mean, he's really, not hiding at all. Not only is he calling it out in, by team, calling out the NCAA specifically, but let's talk about it, right? Obviously, the leading rusher for Colorado goes over to Virginia. This is his third school in, I believe, 3 years. Hey, man, welcome to the transfer portal era. And you know me, I'm pro transfer portal. So I think it's great that these players are able to find new positions and find what's best for them. Because I think as against the Colorado side, the dude only had 400 and something yards, right? I don't think I have the statistics on this one, right? But the dude only had 400 yards because Colorado didn't really run the ball a lot. Now, you would assume that would change a little bit coming into this next year without Shador, right? Without a Travis Hunter. But at the same time, like, what has Colorado done besides allowing me to be a leading rusher, right? What has he done for him to be like, oh yeah, I can be confident in staying here? Now, I do think the timing of the spring transfer portal is a lot more important. When people transfer in the fall, it's different. Season's over. I get it. You've done XYZ, but the transfer in spring for me always feels weird unless there is like a really big problem. If it's just bags being thrown, it's like, dog, you weren't getting money at Colorado. That $500,000 apparently that's what the rumor was. Well, I'm not sure if I still have it over here, but the rumor was $500,000 that he was offered. But again, those are just rumors. Those are just twists. So I don't even want to get into that. But clearly, Deion Sanders is addressing that. People are throwing money at these kids. They're throwing money at other kids on the team. They're offering contracts to other kids on the team. And that gets really spooky when you start thinking about the Xavier Lucas situation, right? If you don't know, now Miami defensive back, that was a Wisconsin defensive back, who entered the transfer portal while having his name, image, and like rights signed over to Wisconsin. And it's still there. We're going to obviously update it as it comes. There's lawsuits. There's all types of fun stuff, right? And now you're offering people contracts while they're under other contracts. Like, this is what happens when there are no rules. There literally are no rules. Xavier Lucas entered the portal, got and signed to another team, is practicing, and he never entered the portal. Wisconsin never did the paperwork to allow him into the portal. He just went anyway. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And then here you go. Tennessee has been accused of tampering with TCU quarterback after Nico news. Yep, they were trying to get a TCU quarterback. The tampering's coming from all angles, all spaces. And you wonder why, whenever Cash Cleveland initially entered the transfer portal, a lot of people were like, oh, there's already interest here, interest there. Come on, dog. People know what this is. This isn't it's not a secret. Clearly, people are entering the portal with a plan. Clearly, Deion Sanders calls it out, and Wally Da, they're at Virginia. But I hope you got paid, young man, because if you did get, you did get that $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Get your bag, get to it. But yeah, speaking of Jordan Seaton, speaking of the portal, right? As we're gonna end some of the negative stuff with this. Jordan Seaton did make a tweet. He says, "Sports are crazy now. Can't even build a true brotherhood anymore. Too much I and me." And it was interesting because a lot of people on Twitter were going at Seaton talking about, "Hey, you can't say that. You're with Colorado. You're with Deion Sanders. You're with this." And I never understood that. Do people think that Colorado has a bunch of money? They have some money. Now, I saw all them boys with them chains on the spring game. They got some money. But Deion Sanders had to petition in his latest contract to get more NIL money from Colorado. Like, do y'all got y'all? I think y'all get it mixed up because ESPN uses Colorado for clicks, because a lot of these media companies get paid off of Colorado no matter what they do. Y'all might think that they have a bunch of NIL money, but that's not how that works. Colorado was irrelevant until Deion and them showed up. At least irrelevant for those decades. Like, don't disrespect the classics of Colorado. Come on now, national championship. Don't do it. But before that, for 2 decades, were y'all checking for Colorado football? What was your favorite Colorado football memory in the last 2 decades before Deion Sanders came? Okay, so y'all, but y'all think that because the media is this and that, and y'all having fun hating on Deion, that they got all this money and it's all about me and they're just offering bags. It don't sound like it. It sounds like Virginia's got enough NIL. Virginia? Look, Virginia is no slouch, but Colorado is a more respected program historically than Virginia football. I might be out of line. I'm out of line on the Cavaliers. But no, seriously, if you think Colorado got money, y'all ain't coming at Virginia like that. It's interesting. Y'all ain't coming at Tennessee like that. Tennessee started the Nico situation, giving them up $8 million, but y'all don't want to have that conversation. Y'all don't want to do it. But let's have Jordan Seaton kind of follow up. Obviously, that happened right after the Cash Cleveland situation. A lot of people were kind of attaching those things together. So let's see kind of what he had to say there and a few other things post-spring game.
Brian, you ready to start?
Hey, Jordan. Brian Howell over there, the camera. I just want to ask you how you feel your personal spring went, but also the offensive line. I know there's some guys in and out, but things like that. But can you assess the spring for yourself and that entire group?
From a personal standpoint, as far as I do 2 aspects. As far as physical ability, I feel like I changed my body up a lot. And then technique-wise, there's some things that I got to clean up, and they're going to get cleaned up. But overall, we did good. We all gelled together, finding the right pieces, finding pieces that don't fit, and just mix and matching. That's what spring's all about, testing and trial and error, like putting something out and then see if it works. If it don't work, let's fix it. Where do we fix it? So I feel like we did very good in this spring.
Hey, Jordan, Jake Schwannis, DMVR. You spoke about, last spring game and how that was kind of like your welcome to college football moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just how much do you feel like you've grown in terms of your play, leadership, all that stuff since then?
I've grown a lot in every aspect. Just being in college, it just happens, just going day by day and just competing. Just going in practice and competing, going against guys who want to get after the quarterback, and I feel like that helps me in real game day scenarios.
Hi, Jordan. Adam Wilson, Tiger 24/7 Sports. With those 2 quarterbacks that just left this room, how have you seen those guys fit in and kind of assimilate themselves in this program this semester?
I see Juju growing a lot every day. They both complement each other. The QB battle is going to be really good this year, so we're still trying to figure out that. But those 2 quarterbacks, they're both competing right now. That's really all it is.
Nikki, go ahead.
Hi, Jordan. Nikki Edwards, CU Sports Report. You have Coach White, Coach Gurode, Coach Hegeman, all individually putting this group together. What has it been like having 3 assistants form this offensive line unit this spring?
They've been able to be hands-on, Each of them are good at what they do, and they zone in on that. Sometimes you get one O-line coach who just talks to the tackles, talks to the center, talks to the guard, but Gunner may talk to the centers all week, and Big George played guard, so he'll talk to the guards that week, and then Coach Gerard, everything, so he'll talk to me and all the tackles. So, like, just being able to own in, and they all speak the same language, even though it might be one person saying this and one person saying that. They all speak the same thing, and that's one of the best online groups as far as coaches that I've been around.
Scott, go ahead.
What's good, Jordan? Scott Proctor at DVR. I think we saw a big Zach Owens next to you at left guard today. How would you kind of just describe his game, what it's like lining up to him, and what kind of role do you try to play in his development as he grows?
Yeah, Big Zach, he's growing, man. He brings the energy to the O-line every single day. You know, he just be doing, like, emotes. And we have a good play, he'll just start emoting, and I'll be like, the next play, you know. But, like, it's fun that he got that energy about him. And as far as his development, he lost the weight that he needed to lose. I feel like that's what held him back last year. But now he's starting to put everything together. And, like, he's going to be a guy we're going to run the ball behind him and just maul. Yeah.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Jordan, Matt Smith. After going through spring ball, I imagine you are probably on this list as well, but who would you say have emerged as real leaders of this group?
It's like the team or not talking about myself, just like other people.
I assume you're one.
Yeah, I would say myself, but not including me. Okay, so I look at leadership like in two ways. You got like people who show up and do their job and not really talk, and then you got the ones who like
Vocal leaders,
who bring the group together. So if I had to go, I would go Zai Chrysler. I'm not sure if I'm saying his right last name right, but Zai, right guard, consistent dude, comes in every day. He's gonna do his job, but he's also gonna get us going. As far as on the defensive side, I'll go Arden Walker. Arden Walker for sure. Me and him battle every day.
He keeps popping up. Arden Walker, everyone has good things to say about him.
Talking about how sports these days are maybe a little bit more about I rather than the we.
Here we go.
Will you explain some of your thinking behind where the state of college athletics is at?
Yeah, touchy topic. Not saying that I don't like where it's at right now. I feel like some people take advantage of where it's at. So it's a blessing that we can get paid and get money, which is cool and it benefits. But sometimes you like lose sight of watching what other people are doing and try to, whatever team you're for, like hold them hostage, you know? Which is like, I don't think that should be done. And like Coach Prime says, I think if you don't perform and you're getting paid X amount of money, like it should be gone. I do agree with Coach Prime on that, but I feel like some people try to take advantage of the opportunity that the people who decided like gave us. So, you know, take an inch, some people take a mile.
Two more, Jack, go ahead.
And there you go, Jordan Seaton basically claiming that Cash Cleveland, Isiah Augusta, even Nico, that, you know, when you really frame that, when you hear him talk about that, he's like speaking very wide, right? He's talking about even the whole, look, if you don't play good, they shouldn't pay good. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's fair, and I think someone like him, that's a good perspective to have. But also at the same time, young man, as a left tackle, you better make sure you get your money. All right, I'm happy that's your pro team. Make sure the team pro you too. I just want to put that out there. But Jordan Seaton seems to be that guy that is pro team. Like, I think there's an equality, right? I think it's unfair to be like, oh, these kids should be able to jump around. No, let me reframe that. You can't just say, oh, yeah, the kids should always be able to jump around. You should also be able to say the end goal of them jumping around should not just to get paid, right? That shouldn't be the only goal, right? If your whole life, your only goal is to make money, you're going to have a sad life, dog. You're not going to have relationships. You're not going to have you're not going to have a hobby. If your only thing is just this one thing, of course you're not going to enjoy it. So it should be a collective of things. There go that buzzword, collective. It should be a collective of things that kind of draw you to those things. And I do have to concede to a lot of y'all in my comments that say, hey, it's a little different. The way it is, because it's Wild Wild West, like some of these places that could have developed people. I mean, if you ain't got no bread and you can go make $500,000 in a year at Virginia, what you talk about? Yeah, I'm gone. But it's like, it's clear to see who's just transferring for money and what they're transferring for. Because, I mean, look at this. Arkansas to Colorado to Virginia. Like I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Isaiah's from Florida. I could be wrong. Who knows? He could be from Wisconsin. I have no idea. He's probably not from Wisconsin. 2 years of eligibility for him. Like I said, I think he's not just speaking on former Buffs. I don't think he's just speaking on Cash Cleveland, who, by the way, was a walk-on, right? So he wants to get his big bread. So I think it's interesting. I think it's a like he said, it's a touchy subject. I don't think there's a right answer, and I don't like when certain people speak about things as if there is only one right answer, right? As if like it's just X, right? It's just this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed. No, there's a lot of things that need to get fixed. There's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of pros. And you know what I'm saying, I'm happy the kids are getting paid though. I'm happy they're gonna have these great opportunities. But wrap it up. Just at the tail end here, it does look like Deion Sanders in Colorado have secured another defensive back, and you know we're gonna have another transfer portal video probably tomorrow that kind of wraps everything up, at least in this week of what they've gotten together, and then you know we'll keep going and have a official wrap up when the portal ends this Friday. But I'm just kind of checking in a little small update here. So former Auburn safety, 6'2", 200 pounds. That's a nice little size there. That's a nice little size there. That's not too bad. He was one of the top safeties in the portal. He's got he's played 22 games for the Tigers for the past 2 years. There he is. He's looking smooth. He's looking good. 6'2", 22. I was thought I had one with some stats on it. I did not. But this is super cool. And I think, you know, when I talk to y'all about, hey, Deion Sanders is one of the greatest or one of the best, recruiters in college football right now. Like, and y'all tell me no. I'm like, what are y'all basing it off of? Because I'm basing it off of the history of Deion Sanders. I don't know. Again, I just think people just like saying stuff because it makes them uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable when I say and have rightful reason to tell you that Deion Sanders is one of the best recruiters in all of college football right now. And this is why. Because he's coached the generation of players that's in college football right now. I know this is him just, having a picture. He was around all these kids. So for at least the next 2-ish years, for 2 more-ish years, I think in that little window that he was still, there with doing the little league stuff and even the high school stuff. I mean, then there's another bracket of years, but still that's still that 2 years. There's like probably 2 more years where Deion Sanders got an edge. He knows these kids. I believe Isiah was one of those kids that he knew. Like a lot of these kids, especially the Jackson State guys. These are people that he grew up with Deion Sanders. Grew up either playing against, being coached by, being mentored by Deion Sanders. So no, I'm not just saying that because I like Deion Sanders. I'm saying that because statistically, there weren't as many coaches that were coaching in Texas high school football at a high level, and all youth levels, everything. Deion Sanders has has had an impact on a mass amount of people, mass amount of kids. And, I think he knows how to do that. And he's been building connections for a long time, a lot longer than maybe some of these other coaches have too. So taking on that, we do have a few more little, visits. Obviously, Deion Parks visited the wall. That's what Colorado fans are calling this, the wall, the signing wall. If you get right here, you're putting your name on that dotted line. Apparently, that's what they're saying. So that's Illinois State, Deion Parks. He's already signed. We have Colorado offering BYU Keenan Martin. He had 24 receptions for 346 yards and a touchdown, plus 18 kick return yards, 472, including a 100-yard kick return in 2024. He's listed at 6 foot 195. That's a lot of wide receivers, boy. That's a lot of wide receivers. And Keenan Martin he was going ahead. He was hyping up the new safety, Terrence Love. This is just last night. And BYU star, he answered right back, hey, tell him I ain't hard to find now. I think they're going to have the deepest wide receiver room in the nation. Lots of craziness. But y'all let me know down below what you're feeling, how you feel about it. Do you think Deion Sanders, do you think Jordan Seaton is right about the portal, the modern state of college football? Who else do you think Colorado should grab in the portal? Who does your team need in the portal? Again, I'm a Texas fan, so I am going to have my Texas portal video out maybe at the end of the portal because I think we got some, you know what I'm saying? I think we got some big boys we're trying to snatch up. But we'll get that done. Let me know who your team is, who y'all need in the portal. And what else did we talk about? We talked about Isiah Augustin. What else we talked about? We talked about Big C. It's a great time, man. You be great. Keep being great. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content, transfer portal content, NIL content. We do a little bit of Deion Sanders content if you can't tell as well. So let me know. Lock in. Be great because you're great. First down. I'm sorry. I'm stalling. I'm sorry. All right. You have a great one, baby.